Majesty, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I call the meeting to order. Now, 20 years ago, our predecessors had the wisdom and foresight to establish East Asia Summit as a leaders-led forum for dialogue on strategic, political, and economic issues of common interest and concern. A forum which strives to strengthen global norms and universally recognize values with ASEAN as a driving force. Today, we must renew our shared purpose, reassert our objectives, promote principled forward-looking engagements. We'll continue to advocate for dialogue over coercion, balance over binaries, cooperation over confrontation. We affirm our stand on global peace and security, for multilateralism and international law. Now I wish to alert and address on the following issues. First, Gaza. Of course, we welcome President Trump's comprehensive plan to end the Gaza conflict. It is an important, critical beginning to stop this madness, genocide, and atrocities. But we have urged that this must be continued, closely monitored, so that there is lasting peace, it's inclusive, it's just, and lasting political solution for Palestine. On Myanmar, it has been deliberated by my colleagues in ASEAN all day yesterday. We are still committed to the honoring of the 5-point consensus, but at the same time, I must acknowledge in the 2 meetings I had with the understanding with my colleagues in ASEAN that the leaders, Prime Minister Malay, have been cooperative, engaging with us. At the aftermath of the earthquake, when I met him in Bangkok, I said the ASEAN is committed to give all the necessary humanitarian support on 2 conditions. Number 1, immediate ceasefire, stop the bombings. And secondly, that the humanitarian assistance, including our field hospital in the military field hospital in Myanmar, is given full access to all, irrespective of minorities or political persuasions. I must commend that then the Senior General Long Lai agreed with this. And for the last 1 year, you see some relative progress, although there have been complaints about some shootings, but certainly not in the scale that we used to see. I met him again in Beijing, calling for the ceasefire and mentioning the ASEAN consensus on the need for inclusive, fair, and free elections. Of course, we do not necessarily share all his views, but I would still urge colleagues to continue the engagement, continue the humanitarian assistance, and allow them to conduct these affairs of the state of Myanmar through their own national mechanisms to engage with all parties. All the opposition groups, 27 of them, have been invited to Malaysia, to Kuala Lumpur, so that we are seen to be engaging with all sides. And the 27 groups, minorities and parties, did so in a very positive manner, coordinated by our foreign ministry. On South China Sea, of course, there's been extensive discussions We are happy that all parties have agreed to formulate this code of conduct. But as is the case with all issues, we want it to be resolved within ASEAN and ASEAN with our partners in the region. Because the moment is seen to be imposed and dictated by outside forces, things becomes more problematic and tense. As far as we're concerned, things are still under control. We still urge strongly that all parties engage in these negotiations, universally recognized principles of international law, precisely the 1982 UNCLOS and the Code of Conduct. On DPRK, of course, we are concerned with the recent surge in the ballistic missile launches, but Malaysia's position is continue with some form of engagement, because once we call for engagement in all areas from Gaza to Ukraine to Myanmar, we should not preclude engagement with DPRK. Your Majesty, Excellencies, at this summit today, we will adopt the Kuala Lumpur Declaration on the 20th anniversary of East Asia Summit and the leader's statement on promoting localization in anticipatory action for disaster preparedness and response. I congratulate the EAS participating countries for the commitment and the tenacity that led to this achievement. This is a clear example that diversity does not divide. In this meeting, I have to personally make this remark to two of our colleagues as guests of the chair, presidents of Brazil and South Africa. President Lula is on his way yet to arrive, but both President Cyril Ramaphosa of South Africa represents the new phase, new conscience of democratic transition and strongly support multilateralism, and we want Africa to be very much part of this engagement of expanding our trading links, investments, and geopolitical arrangements. Similarly, with Lula da Silva of Brazil, an outstanding country in Latin America that I wish to continue to engage with countries in ASEAN, in extending our multilateral arrangements in trade, investments, and I believe within the whole of East Asia. So thank you very much again to all Her Majesty and leaders present. And I will now invite our friends and colleagues from the media to enjoy what is left, the coffee and tea and cakes, and come back when we have a statement to make. Thank you very much. Arigato, kamsahamnida, kapungka, terima kasih. They still don't leave. Huh? Obrigado. Baik, terima kasih. Ya.